Hi everyone and good morning. I'm Alethea and I'm currently a second year student at the School of Psychology at the University of Queensland. So today I'll be presenting my infographic on the relationship between disability and finances and how this relationship can impact individuals across physical, psychological, and social domains. So to begin, there's some research in Australia that has highlighted financial hardships among people with disabilities. So as of 2022, there are around 5.5 million Australians with a disability, and they are currently living on about $575 a week. And for context, the current poverty line in Australia is actually about $610 a week. So actually, this amount is way below the poverty line. So this number alone already suggests a lot of financial strain, but understanding the multitude of issues accompanying it is very important as well. So limited income can affect a person's independence, access to opportunities, and their overall quality of life. So it shapes a lot of daily decisions like what kind of healthcare they can afford, where they can go, and even how safe they feel. So a current system that is influencing this right now is the Disability Support Pension. So this is also known as the DSP. So it is designed to provide financial assistance to persons with disabilities and their families. But the way it is structured now can sometimes unintentionally reinforce dependency rather than independence. So, for example, individuals under 21 are often assumed to be financially dependent on their parents, regardless of their actual circumstances. And even individuals in long-term relationships with high earning partners can be presumed to rely on their partner financially. So because of all these assumptions, they may receive reduced or no governmental support at all. And even if they do not have, and this creates a situation where people are treated as financially supported on paper, but they don't necessarily in reality, they're not supported. Hence, this limits their autonomy and financial security. So this leads into a lot of social cost of disability. So individuals often have little to no extra spending income, and their ability to improve their financial situation is also constrained, not only by their condition, but also by the different policies and schemes in place. So this leads to restricted earning capacity, and many disability support schemes actually reduce benefits if individuals earn above a certain threshold. So while this is intended to balance support, it can actually discourage people from seeking employment or increasing their working hours. And because doing so might actually leave them financially worse off overall. And another key issue is actually financial exclusion. So individuals with certain types of disabilities, like visual impairment or mobility issues, are less likely to receive loans from banks. So this could limit their ability to invest, start businesses, or even purchase property. And this makes it difficult to build long-term financial stability. So there are a lot of challenges faced by the lack of finances, and this can be looked under three main areas: physical, psychological, and social. So we'll start off with some physical impacts. So financial limitations can actually directly affect health outcomes. So for instance, individuals may be denied access to necessary treatments like dental care because they simply cannot afford it. And over time, this can lead to worsening health conditions that could have been prevented with earlier interventions. And there's also evidence showing a higher likelihood of physical abuse, and this could lead to premature death among people with disabilities. And financial dependence can make it significantly harder for individuals to live unsafe or abusive environments, and this could increase their vulnerability. So moving on to some psychological impacts, financial insecurity plays a major role in mental well-being, and individuals can experience lower sense of safety, particularly when alone in public spaces. And this is due to both physical vulnerability and the lack of resources. Additionally, financial dependence can also increase the risk of emotional manipulation and economic abuse within relationships. So, for example, a partner may control access to money or restrict their spending, which can limit their independence and decision-making power. And over time, these experiences can contribute to chronic stress, anxiety, and reduced self-esteem. And as individuals feel a lack of control over their own lives. So now moving on to some social impacts. Financial hardship can actually significantly affect relationships and social participation. So individuals may experience strained family relationships, especially when there's an imbalance in financial dependence. And there's also a reduction in social inclusion as individuals may not be able to afford to participate in social activities, travel, or even other community activities. And this can lead to social isolation, which will further impact mental health. And these challenges are even more significant hurdles for individuals from minority backgrounds, such as First Nation communities or LGBTQA+ individuals. And they may face multiple layers of discrimination, which can compound both financial and social disadvantages. So all of these factors demonstrate that disability and finances are deeply interconnected. And there is an ongoing interplay between disability, personal characteristics, relationships, and income. And this affects nearly every single aspect of a person's life. So from a policy perspective, one key recommendation is to make benefit systems more flexible by adjusting payments based on both severity of disability and their level of poverty, rather than relying on just rigid categories. And this will allow support to better reflect individual circumstances. And there should also be stronger efforts to support workplace integration, particularly for individuals with mild to moderate disabilities. Creating accessible and inclusive work environments can help individuals gain financial independence without being penalized by existing systems. And in addition, policy should also place greater emphasis on inclusion for minority groups, ensuring that support systems are equitable across different backgrounds. And another important area is the need for more research, particularly on how relationships influence financial independence and how economic abuse can be identified and addressed. So from a theoretical perspective, the idea that disability is not purely a medical issue should be emphasized, and instead it should be understood through a broader lens that includes social determinants such as income, policy structures, and interpersonal relationships. So to conclude, financial hardship among people with disabilities is not just about limited income. It has far-reaching physical, psychological, and social consequences. So addressing this issue requires not only financial support, but also systematic changes that promote autonomy, inclusion, and equal opportunities. Thank you for your kind attention.